Welcome everyone again to another exciting webinar. We are number 11, lesson number 11, and we're continuing to learn about the ultimate connection with Hashem, with God. The primary focus of this is Jewish meditation and intuition to develop and to understand the importance of Jewish meditation and developing our intuition as a way to connecting to Hashem. That's so very important. We'll see how crucial that is today. We're going to go a little bit more into depth into the reason why we want to meditate and all the benefits that come from it. So those joining us again for the first time, my name is Rabbi Yosef Chaim Mimran. I'll be your host here. And like I said, this is part 11. We will be discussing awareness, consciousness, and subconsciousness. Okay, these sound like scary words, but they're all very, very simple concepts. But it's important to understand that because you can deepen your meditation incredibly with a better precision if you understand these processes that we're gonna explain over here. So let's just jump right into this and let's discuss over here the importance of meditation. We spoke about what meditation is. We spoke about the difference between non-Jewish meditation, the goals of non-Jewish meditation, and our meditation, but let's go a little bit deeper. So the first thing we have to understand is that as a Jewish nation, as Jewish people, we only have one real focus in our life. You know, even though we have 613 mitzvahs and the Rabbanan, we have a lot of things on our agenda that we are supposed to do. But really, it's really all one. It's all one under one category, and that is to unite ourselves with Hashem. That's it, to connect with Hashem. That is Kol HaTorah Kula in one word over there. So what does Hashem want from us exactly? What's the whole point of it? So the Kabbalists, I'll give you the perspective of what the Kabbalists tell us. So they use a language called Miyachid Yechudim. That's what the Kabbalists tell us it's all about. That's the entire 6,000 years that we have to be here is to do this concept or this avodah called Miyachid Yechudim. What does this word mean? Miyachid Yechudim means. It basically just means to unite this world, and that means everything included into this world with the spiritual world. That's as simple it is. It's a very simple concept, very simple idea why we're here. And we're given various Torah mitzvahs in order to do that, to connect back and forth, connect like the angels do. The Rotzav V'Shov, that's a loshon of Chazal when they speak about angels. The way they serve Hashem is because they go to Hashem and they come back. Nobody can stay next to Hashem because they give him a name like he's fire, Eish. So nobody can stay close to that superpower, but rather they go and come back, And the Kabbalists explain to us the idea is that Hashem created an imperfect world, and our job is to rectify the world. And again, that's through Torah mitzvahs. So we have to able to rectify the world, meaning that we bring it back into unity. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Bringing it back is called the nitzutzim that fell down, these sparks of light that fell down, the Kabbalists talk about, and how we have to raise those sparks of light back into the source. So we have to understand that every Jew is important, and even non-Jews are important. They have their role, we have our role, but as a human race, we all have to achieve this goal in order for us to raise our level to go into the next, what they call Olam Haba, into the next, our next period of time, which means we go into the next world. So we have to understand that the concept of rectification. Now, how is this done, this rectification? How is it done? So the Kabbalists, again, we use a technical word called the Ein Sof. And we spoke about it last class, the Ein Sof. What is the Ein Sof? Ein Sof, you can just imagine this energy beam coming down from Shemayim, very, very strong energy coming down into this world. And our job is basically to connect to that, as I called it last class, that umbilical cord that gives us all the energy, gives us everything that we need in this life, and everything that we're looking for is all in that call, that Ein Sof, that Kav Ein Sof. Okay, so we have to connect to that. That automatically connects us to Hashem. Connects us to Hashem. Now, we have to understand, we use these words, we use these words very lightly, Hashem. We're not here to understand Hashem, but in our context, I want to give it definitions, okay? I wanted to make this as simple as possible and to understand this process, that what we're doing here in our Avoda, and how this, we'll see how this fits into the context of meditation, is that we're here to, like we say, in an imperfect world, to become perfect beings. Now, the only way we can really actually become totally perfect is to attach ourselves to the most perfect being that is, and that is obviously Hashem. So in a way, it's as if when we attach ourselves to Hashem, and this is very, very important, listen, when we attach ourselves to Hashem, we cleanse ourselves of all other impurities, and we become one with Hashem. Okay? I'll repeat that. When we attach ourselves to Hashem, we become one with Hashem, and thereby expelling all impurities that we've collected through our 6,000 years of being on this earth by that connection. That's all expelled. And the easiest example I can tell you is of a glass maker. What does a glass maker do? He takes raw materials, sand and whatever, and it puts it in fire. What does a fire do? Fire will break it, will crush, will burn it. Well, that's exactly what you want over there. You want to dispel and move away all the impurities from the glass in order to keep the glass pure. And that is what the Gemara tells us, that Hashem is like Kulo Eish. Hashem, the Gemara gives us a name for Hashem, like a nickname, like he's fire. But why? It's so random. Why fire? Because that point, because he is a cleanser. The point, when we say Hashem, we're using that word very loosely. We're talking about the process of Hashem, or this Ein Sof, that when we connect to the Ein Sof, that cleanses us. That's, like we said from the beginning, that is the point of being here. The point of being here is to miyachid yichudim, or to return to Sof, to the Ein Sof, and that's going to cleanse us to become perfect beings, and that is the goal of this world, of why we're put into this world, to become like Hashem. So even though it's a simple idea, but how do we go about it? Now, obviously, we have to do Torah mitzvahs. But since we're learning about meditation and intuition, and really these classes are based on understanding the way the prophets used to connect to Hashem. One second, before I get to the next slide. The way the prophets used to connect to Hashem is through a way of meditation. And through the meditation, one of the derivatives of meditation is that you would be able to receive information, be able to see through things, be able to see through people, be able to see the future, the past, the present, all at one time. Because once you're connected to the Ein Sof, you're connected to a spiritual world which has no time. And therefore, it's no difference if you're looking now, or if you're looking in the future, or looking in the past, it's all the same. Because the spiritual world doesn't have those boundaries. You're leaving your natural boundaries to connect to something which is which has no boundaries whatsoever. Okay, so I hope I made that clear that the goal for us, just to summarize, of meditation is not just for relaxation purposes, which I have nothing wrong with that, which is very good. We're not here for medical reasons, which again, meditation nowadays is used very much by psychiatrists, doctors. It's mainstream nearly, which has a great amount of effects on your health. It calms you down, calms your stress level, and all the good benefits. But rather here we're learning meditation, Jewish meditation, in the context of how that's going to better us. And how is that going to achieve our purpose of being here on this earth? That's how important meditation is. The prophets, which were tremendous, great sages, wouldn't waste their time, in a lotus position in La La Land if it wasn't crucial to their avodas Hashem, if it wasn't crucial for them serving Hashem. Because we're talking about the prophets who used to be great people, great men of wisdom, and women as well, prophetess. And they knew if they were sitting down and meditating, connecting to Hashem, that was the ultimate for them. That was very, very important, collectively, with all the other Torah mitzvahs that they were doing, to connecting to Hashem. So therefore, we should take lesson from that. And I think very much that this has been downgraded in our Jewish life, that meditation is not really talked about. It's not really looked upon as an avodah to Hashem, as a service to Hashem, but rather as an extra thing. Rather, we should take notes of our history and how meditation was so important. And my goal here was just to explain to you the process and why it's so important, because through meditation, you are actually cleansing yourself. You are rectifying yourself. It's what we call Yachid Miyachid Yechudim. Yachid Yechud just means you are bonding. Opposites are coming to bond together, and as they bond together, they cleanse themselves, become united. And we know Shema Yisrael Hashem Echad. The goal is to become one with Hashem, and this is the way we're going to do it. Okay, so now I want to break down a little deeper now the process of meditation. What is the process of meditation? Now, before we do that, we have to understand that there are different levels, depths. The scientists have clearly shown different depths, and in scientific language, or whatever language you call this, they're called beta, a deeper level of going into the subconscious would be the alpha. And then when you go deeper into a meditation, you go into the levels of theta. And even a deeper level, you go into delta levels. Now let's explain this a bit clearer. Your mind is separated generally, okay, very, very superficially, into 2 or maybe 3 different parts, okay. One is what we call the conscious mind. Conscious mind means whatever you're aware of now. As you look around the room, you're aware of everything that there is. That means you are conscious, and you're using your awareness to help you make sense of what's around you. That's the normal conscious mind. They say it's at the front of the brain. Further back of the brain, they say that's where the subconscious mind is placed. And what do we mean by the subconscious mind? Subconscious mind just means the program, because we're all programmed by our environment. We're programmed by how we've been brought up, through our past, through our education, through our parents, through our teachers, all that since we were born. And since all that, we've accumulated a program. So we get up in the morning, we do the same things, we speak to the same people, we speak the same way, we have the same language. we do everything repetitive. That's the information which is in your subconscious mind. It's your normal program that allows you to do things seemingly without any effort whatsoever. You go to the bathroom, you drive your car, you don't think of all the processes involved in driving a car. No, that's, you learned that already. Now you suppress that back into your subconscious. Now you can just get into a car and drive. You don't have to think about looking at the rear view and look at the side mirror and pressing the brakes and this and that and that. It's automatic. That's information in the subconscious mind. Okay, things that you don't have to think about. For example, you're driving a car on a long, long highway. Now, as you're driving a long, long highway, a lot of times it's very mesmerizing, and you find yourself like, wow, I've arrived, but you don't actually remember the journey. I don't know if you've ever experienced that. You're just going on a long journey, but you're so into your thoughts that you don't even realize that you've arrived. And then you go, wow, that was quick. Because that you're doing all these processes subconsciously. That's what we're saying. Okay. Now, that's already the two levels of beta and alpha. Okay. Again, beta being totally aware. Alpha, when you're in a deeper, when you start going into the meditative state, you're already in an alpha. And if you look to the left of this chart, you'll see the waves. So the alpha, the beta SAR, you see the waves. Those are brain scans. So in the EEG scans, when they put electrodes to the brains to evaluate the activity of the brain, it goes very quickly because your brain is very active, so the wave is very active. And then when you're when you're relaxing, so your brain waves are going much slower. You can see that on the left of the chart. That's alpha wave. Now, when you're deeper in a deep meditation, then we're using your subconscious mind and look at the waves. Very, very slow, nearly not a wave at all. Okay, that means you're really slowing the mental activity that's happening, all those thoughts, those wild thoughts that we have all day long. By the way, you know, we have 60 to 70,000 thoughts every day. You imagine? Doctors tell us that we process 60,000 thoughts. That's a lot happening in our mind. So you can just imagine how our mind are flashing lights and synapses all the time in the brain. But that's another benefit of going into the meditative state. So our goal really is to go into a deeper state, to go into the delta. Now the delta is really a deep sleep. Actually, that's not where we want to go though. It's really only up to the third stage where the subconscious mind is still aware, because once you're in the delta, that's already in the sleep stage. So that's the dreamless stage, the automatic self-healing immune system. That's where we go to rest and we wake up in the morning all refreshed because we close down all that mental activity which uses up all our energy. And then when we rest, all that activity in the brain just dies down. That's where we get our energy, okay? So that's important to understand that. So now we're going to do a little exercise, okay? Knowing this information, how we want to slow down those mental thoughts. From the brain wave, we've seen the beta. We're going to go down into the alpha and then finally into the theta stage, right? Don't go into the delta. That means you're sleeping, okay? Now, before we do that, I just want to explain one more thing. The 5 levels of meditation. Now, like we explained right now, we have the beta stage, which is very simply the awareness of your surroundings using your 5 senses. So I want you right now, let's start the exercise right now. So I want everybody to just relax, sit in your chair. I don't want you to close your eyes, okay? And what I want you to do right now, sit in your chair, or you can be standing up if you want, if you need to. And I want you just to look around the room. Just look around the room, and you don't have to speak it out. Just look around and be aware. That's called awareness. Be aware of your surroundings. Simple, very, very simple. We're going to go deeper soon. Don't worry about it. We're going to just be aware. So look around, see the lights, see the wall, see the color of the wall, see the table. Feel the chair that you're sitting on. Is it cold in the room? Is it hot in the room? Is it a small room, big room? Feel the area between you and the walls. That's just being very simple, being aware with your conscious mind using your five senses. Everybody's okay with that? Everybody's done that? Good. Now, I want you now, next stage, to acknowledge of what is around you. To acknowledge, meaning to have a relationship, to realize on a deeper level that everything around you is real energy. As we spoke about many, many times, everything is energy. And to try to feel the air around you. Try to feel the experience that is around you. Okay? Now, I want you to go a little bit deeper now. I want you to now appreciate your surroundings. Appreciate the security of where you are. The warmth, the comfort. Experience those concepts, the comfort, the joy of being present and experiencing whatever you have right now. Okay? Appreciate that. Now, going on a deeper level, I want you to feel the energy in that feeling. The energy of the feeling of that awareness. I hope this is making sense. Because there's the physicality of what you see. That's how we started. You see the surroundings around you. We want to make a connection with all that is around you because we're all energy at the end of the day. Even the walls, even the space, we can't see the molecules in the air, but there's molecules of it everywhere. And everything has a feeling. If you walk outside, you'll feel one way. If you're inside, you'll feel another way. So as you are, Ba'asher Usham, as you are right now, try to feel your surroundings. Feel that energy. Feel that energy around you. And as we're still, we try to feel the life of that air, the life of everything that is around us. Now I want you to pull your attention now to yourself. Pull your attention to yourself and feel now your body. So we're leaving the external and we're focusing on your body now, like we did originally. Remember a few classes ago, we started focusing on our body. Because a minute ago, you're focusing outside and you weren't aware of your body. But as you shift your attention now to your hands, feel the energy in your hands. Be aware of your feet. You weren't aware of your feet, and now by consciously, mentally focusing, magically now you feel your feet. Now feel the liveliness in your feet, in your legs. A moment ago, you weren't feeling your hands, but now you want to feel the energy in your hands. I'll give you a few minutes to feel that. It's very important. Now, if any thoughts come into your mind, go back to the breath, as we said so many times. Breathe in and then breathe out. To try to focus your attention back into your life energy source. You don't want to be up here in your mind, in the beta. You want to go deeper now. Now, I'm feeling a lot of energy from all of you. I really feel the calmness, the powerful energy coming through everyone that is here now. Now realize when you're focusing inward, you're focusing in on that Kav. Everybody has a piece and is connected to the Ein Sof, the Kav Ein Sof, as we said originally. We said that when you connect to that, you are purifying yourself and accomplishing what you're here for. As simple as that. You're connecting to unity. Because that is the only thing that unites all of us together. Nothing else. Is that Kav Ein Sof that connects Hashem and us together. That's the umbilical cord, and we all have part of that. So as we focus our energy from the exterior to the interior, we're actually connecting with Hashem. Now, as we're doing this exercise, we have to understand that we have to know who we are. If I were to ask you who you are, you'd say, well, I'm a teacher. Well, I'm a rabbi. Well, I'm this. I would say to you, that's not true at all. Those are labels to who you think you are. Those are labels that people have placed onto you. There's nothing wrong with that. Those are roles that you play, but that's not who you are. You are not a teacher. You play the role of a teacher. You play the role of a rabbi. You play the role of a computer scientist, whoever you are, whatever you're doing there. But who are you really? Well, who you really are, you only find out once you meditate. Once you connect inwards, that's when you will find the power and the reality of who you really are. Only you can know that. And once you tap into that infinite amount of energy source, you are superhuman. Because even if your title were to go away or your role were to go away and you are no longer a teacher, a rabbi, scientist, doctor, but who you really are is always there deep inside of you, and nobody can take that away from you. That makes you invulnerable, superpower, because then you are in touch with the real you, which is a connection to Hashem, the most powerful source of anything. So be aware as I'm speaking. You want to be aware of being aware that you are the space of awareness to where you can experience all experiences. You are basically a receptacle and an awareness to what is. Now, once you understand this practice and you practice it often, then there's nothing in this world that you cannot do, and there's nothing that can affect you. Because who you are inside is the most powerful thing in the world. Okay? That is the real goal of meditation. the realization of self, and how we connect to Hashem directly. Okay. So I hope that was clear, and I hope you had some experience in this. We didn't really extend the exercise very long because I really want to move on to a different exercise. But I felt that's so important to understand the definition and the purpose to meditation very well. Okay, so if there's any questions, I'm happy to take any questions. If not, we'll move on to the next exercise. Okay, good. Looks like everybody understood. Very deep concept. Now, we're going to shift gears a little bit over here. Okay, do something. This was the picture that I showed you beforehand about how we align, or how the Umas Olam, how with their chakras really align to our 7 hecholos. Okay, which I thought it was interesting to note based on the Etz Chaim. Now, we're going to do a little exercise which I call the flower exercise. Okay, again, it's another exercise to allow ourselves to come out from our boundaries, our firm intellect, and see what's out there. Okay, because once we release ourselves or allow ourselves to go and connect, because without your permission, you cannot connect to the spiritual world, you'll be amazed at what you can do. Okay? Now, we're going to break up into breakup rooms very soon, but what I want to practice with you right now is a little mental exercise, okay? Using that frontal lobe, that conscious and the subconscious. I want everyone now just to, again, relax and imagine with your eyes. I want you to close your eyes now and imagine mentally that you see a flower in your mind. It could be any flower. I have on the screen here a flower, a rose, with a stem and leaves. So I want you to imagine the entire flower with stems and leaves and have that in your mind. Okay? Have that in your mind. Does everybody have a picture of a flower in their mind? Just show me a thumbs up. Okay. Okay. Good. All right. All right. Just give me a thumbs up if you are still with us here. Good. Perfect. Okay. So as we have this flower in our minds, I want you to write your name, not physically, again, we're all doing this mentally. Write your name above the flower. Okay, so I would write Yosef Chaim Imran, I would write my name, and then drop it into the flower and see the name dissolve into the flower. Okay. Now, by doing that, that gives life to the flower. You're giving it a name, that automatically the name is a representation of the essence of that particular person. So as you give a name to that flower and it absorbs that name, it becomes animated and it starts moving. Now I want you to just look at that flower and perceive it and watch its motions. Look very carefully at its stem. Look very carefully at its flowers, at its leaves, petals. Look very carefully at its colors. Is it changing colors? Is it becoming more intense? How is it moving? Just be aware without giving any labels whatsoever. Just view it for a few minutes now. I'll be going around now, be asking you what you've perceived, and you'll see where I'm leading with this, okay? Okay, who wants to share? What
Can I
have
share?
they seen?
Can I share?
Go ahead. Was that Miriam? Who just spoke up? Was it Miriam? I don't think she's here. Oh.
Could you hear me?
Yeah, who is that?
It's Miriam Bracha. Miriam
Oh,
Ottenstein.
go ahead. So what are you seeing there, Miriam?
So when you said to picture a flower, immediately I pictured a blue flower, like a blue rose or something like. And then once I pictured, my name going into the flower, it changed to orange. Why is that?
Okay, so what, maybe remember the class last week's class, we spoke about colors.
Yeah. Do you know why that is though? Why?
Well, you tell me, what do those colors mean to you?
I don't know. I get orange just reminds me of like vibrance and fun and I don't know. I'm not really sure why, I guess. Blue I
Okay,
think of, yeah, I don't know. Blue I think of like peaceful but also like sad, and then orange I think of as like happy and productive and vibrant.
good. Excellent. So what you're telling me that is that you are really observing yourself,
Hmm.
okay, through this mental imagery and seeing the state of mind that you are right now, the mind and body of who you are. So you've gone through a state of the blues, we say feeling the blues, the Monday blues, which is a calmer state, into a more excited state. So you're really revealing to yourself how you're feeling,
Hmm.
how you're feeling. And orange represents the sun, represents happiness, the strength, sunlight. So that's very good. So this is a tool you can use if you want to see the deepness of your subconscious. We use this to see the transformation of one experience to another experience, and through that relationship, we can tell where we're holding at the moment. Okay. Anybody else want to share? Come on, don't be shy. Ariel.
Yeah, forgot to unmute myself. Sorry. Yeah. So, okay. So I decided to use the same flower that you did, the red rose.
Okay.
I just decided to use, and I guess it just so when I dropped my name into it, when I put my name, it just like wiggled, or for like a split second or a few seconds. It just and basically that's about it, because I didn't know what else I was supposed to you know do or
Well,
say.
again, well, very good. So that tells us a lot. That tells us a lot. It tells us that you have a lot of energy. As soon as you animated, you brought life to it, you became it. And it shows us, it should show you that you're full of energy. Or anybody that would see this for you, and that's going to be the next exercise, as you're imagining the flower for the next person, you'll be able to tell everything about it. So I can tell that you're a very active person, right? You're not a person who likes to sit down. You're a person who likes to go from this to that, to do this, to that. Is that right or not?
Yeah, I mean, I do a lot of sports. Um, I'm very athletic, so I.
There we go. So if I were to see that, I would be able to tell a lot about your character. You're not the type of person that can sit at a desk for hours and hours. You like the outside. You like to run around. You like to do stuff. That's very revealing.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I could probably sit at the desk if I had to.
If you had to, but that's not really you. Okay, great. So who else wants to share with us?
Hi, Rabbi. I'll speak. I wanted so my thing was I imagined the same rose you had.
Who's speaking now?
Romy.
Romy. Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, Romy.
Hi. Thanks, Rabbi. I love these weekly classes. But I've missed some, so I'm going to ask about where to get the repeats. But right now, I saw the flower, but more in 3D. And when my name dropped into it, it sort of became glossier, more alive. And I felt like I was giving the flower healing energy. And I don't know if that means I need the healing energy or I'm giving it off to things.
Yeah, it means both. It means both. It means you're a healer, that you're able to give out energy, healing energy. You're a source of support for a lot of people, and you're able to be very strong for people. So that's very revealing. Is that right?
Yeah, I think that's spot on. I'll ask you, but this is not part of the exercise really. How do you give that healing energy to oneself as well?
Oh, through this meditation that we're doing. We've been discussing that a lot. Through tapping into that infinite power. Okay, we call it the Ein Sof, that soul power that you have. That is the most powerful healing energy in the entire universe. Okay, in the same way that a body heals themselves. A body, you have a cut one day, blood coming out, automatically, magically, the cells in your body know to coagulate the blood and to close up the skin. Isn't that amazing? Your body has self-intelligence.
Yes.
It's a very intelligent machine.
Yes.
So everything is there. The healing, the everything that we need is there. So we have to rediscover those powers and uncover all the things which are not enabling us to receive all that power. Okay?
Yes. Yes.
Great. All right. Anybody else would like to share?
I want to share. My name is Moishi.
Moishi, go ahead, Moishi.
She oil, and yeah, I love these classes. And I was also imagining your stem with the flower, pink, like I think red or pink flower. But since I put in my name, it was getting like more glowing and more alive. But the name didn't want to go. It didn't dissolve. It came back and forth. Also, it was zigzag all the time. The whole flower like zigzag, 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 zigzag. And also the stem was getting thicker maybe, and the flower is growing a lot. I don't know what it means, but
Okay, right. There's a lot happening there with you. Okay, for sure. Because if you're having a hard time absorbing the name, that should tell you a lot over there. We have to maybe work with that with you because I don't think you appreciate yourself enough, and bring that to the surface. You're the type of person that works in the background. You don't like attention to yourself, and you're not a type of person that like to show off at all. You know what I mean? You keep in the background. Isn't that so?
yes, 100%.
Yeah. So that's why you're very, you're an unov, and you like to bring attention to yourself. So that's very, very clear. And therefore you try to avoid, being in the limelight at all costs. So yeah, those are things that we can work on. But that, again, it's just an exercise here just to show you the power of self-awareness, So
Correct.
that's very good. Anybody else want to share?
I'll share.
Who's that?
I think somebody else also spoke at the same time as me, Cindy. I'm not sure if anybody else was also speaking.
You go ahead. It was Fran, but you go ahead.
Okay, you sure?
Go ahead, Cindy, and then we'll
Okay.
find out.
So I saw, I think it was like a lavender flower. And the inside was kind of light green. And so my name was just, I guess it just like kind of floated down slowly. And that was that. I don't think I had anything else.
That's very nice. That's very powerful. Okay.
Any meanings behind that?
Oh, sure. Like we said, everything has a meaning in all things. We discussed one level, which is colors, motions. You can tell a lot from motions. And obviously, you can tell a lot from this process over here that we're talking about over here.
Mhm.
So, obviously, white is a signal of purity, of honesty. Okay, white shows dedication as well. Dedication. So those are all you, right? I can see that clearly. That you're a very dedicated person. You're a very honest person. That when you do the job, you do it till the end. Isn't that right?
True. Yeah.
Right. So that's
Yes.
it. So that's it. But you have a lot of creativity in you as well. But you don't allow that to bring it to the surface.
Right.
There's not enough creative power going outwards there. That's the green inside of you. That's the little green that you saw, which is covered over, and you're not allowing to spread that out. Okay,
Okay. Thank you.
that's important. Go ahead, Fran.
Okay, hi. So I saw it was like a huge peonies kind of rose with it was very full with many, many layers to it. And it was like a lavender, but I could see shades of like shadow of a blue in there, getting into like a deeper color, deeper purple kind of. And then my name was embedded in the flower already. It was like part of the formation of the leaves. So, and I smelled, I had like a fragrance of the flower.
Wow.
So that was kind of, neat too.
Right. Okay. So what does that tell you, Fran?
It just felt like a wonderful experience being there. I kind of didn't want to come out. But,
right. Because, I can tell you that's where you belong, because purple is always a very spiritual color. It's the most spiritual color we have. It's the highest frequency, as we spoke last class. So you are a very, very, as we spoke before, very, very spiritual person. You live in the spiritual, and that's why your name is there already. And the fact that you can even smell it just reaffirms, your spiritual attachment, being an old soul, of having all these experiences in you already. Okay.
I know.
So
I tried answering, then it just got like.
So that's the power, right? When you're working with the colors, and when you're working with the movement, and that's a very good what you said. They came with the smell as well. That's very revealing. Okay, excellent. So anybody else?
I'll go.
Adina?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Adina.
I saw the flower glittering, like shining.
Okay.
The petals going off, off. And then everything disappeared in glitter and float out.
Right. Wow. Okay. So what does that mean to you, Adina?
That I'm on this planet to share my gifts and light up the world.
Exactly. 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 That's spreading out, you know, and you're also a very spiritual person, I can tell, right? And you know, and that you understand that you're on a very high level spiritual, I can tell. So is that right? You work on spirituality on yourself?
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, I think it's the first time we speak, but I can tell that immediately through that, through what you've said, through your speech, and you know, and all that. So that again, another. We're not going to go into depth here. I'm not giving readings right now, but that is a beautiful way to explain what you just saw. You just said. Okay, beautiful. Okay, so anybody else? That's it. Okay.
I could just say, quickly, not that much happened. I started with the rose in the picture, and it grew. The stem grew, and then the top of the rose grew. That was it.
Okay. Right. So what does that tell you, Ira? What's growing? What does that grow? That means there's growth there, isn't there?
Yes, so.
It's showing you that you are on a trajectory of growth. And I know that personally for you because you're constantly learning, constantly wanting to know more, and that's all about you. That's how you're seeing that physically, well, mentally, manifesting in that.
Okay.
In that imagery that you are making up in your mind, which is a representation of yourself. Okay? So what I want to do a little fun exercise. I want everybody to break up into the rooms, and
we're close. We're almost at 5 o'clock, though. I don't know.
oh, I didn't realize the time going so fast. So maybe we'll leave that exercise for next time. Okay? So I hope you enjoyed that. Again, those are just like fun exercises just to get yourself out of yourself, to retrain your brain, to rewire your brain a little bit, to understand the spiritual is not all the way down in Shemaim taking a rocket and have to meditate for thousands of years, but rather it's as fast as an eye, as a blink of an eyelid, how you can be attached to the spiritual. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that. The rest of the classes we're posting on our YouTube channel, which is Yeshiva Techen. You can catch up all those classes that you've missed, if you've missed any. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Okay? Have a great evening, everybody.